is Dr. Jones. Welcome to The Healthy You, a conversation with Dr. J. And today we are visiting a restaurant, KraVegan. Come on in. Oh, hi. Dr. Shirley, how are you?
Very good. It's so great to have you. Oh my gosh. Dr. Shirley's here at KraVegan, where food is love. Why? Because food is indeed love. Come on, guys.
I'm here at KraVegan, the place where it feels like home with vegan cuisine. And I'm here with the two owners. Can you tell us, how did you start?
So I'm Latasha Kaiser, innovator, founder, CEO of KraVegan, where food is love, because food is indeed love. Because if I love you, I'm going to feed you like I love you. I'm not going to give you junk on your plate. So I established KraVegan March 30th, 2018. I've been cooking from scratch since I was 9 years old. Now, people hear 9 years old and they're like, what? Yes, guys, 9 years old. I'm the oldest. It's myself and my brother. And when my parents got married, my mother couldn't cook. My dad could. And when I hit 8, my mom said, you won't be like me. Get in this kitchen and watch. And guys, it's instant gratification. I absolutely love to feed people. I absolutely love to cook. So once we went vegan, which was July 9, 2017, I simply just took what comes very natural to me. You know, like we don't know why we breathe. We just know we need to breathe.
Right.
I don't know how I know. I just know. And I don't need to know why. I just can. And I just do. And so once we went vegan at the time, I knew that the product that were on the market at that time was not enough to keep my hog farm raised husband vegan. So cutting food from bags for me was very foreign because, again, I've been cooking from scratch since I was 9. So now vegan, you know, cutting, that didn't go well within me. So I remember one distinct day I was in Publix and I had a particular item in my hand. And I said, Lord, I can't keep doing this, cutting this stuff out of these bags. And I flipped the bag over and said, I can do this. Do I have a degree? No. Have I worked in culinary? Never. I just knew that I could. And so I did, but I did it differently. So my foods, all of the entire menu of my recipes, it's not seasoned flour. It is actually whole vegetables held together with spices and herbs and high quality ingredients with a high bit of flours. And therefore we create our delicious brand of proteins and everything that is on the menu.
Awesome. So you tell me when you first taste her food, what did you think?
So for my birthday, we had just went vegan. And of course I was struggling because I'm used to eating meat. She made this vegan steak. She basically woke up, said she felt God download something in her spirit. She got up, she made this item, and it was one of the best birthday presents I ever received. It was a vegan steak made from beets and mushrooms.
Yes.
And of course,
with the steak grits. Sauce, I made a scratch-made steak sauce because again,
yes.
I don't know how to cook other than from scratch. So anything I cook, it is from scratch. At home here, I love you guys, and so I'm gonna feed you like I do. So so for him, yes, he woke up to a steak and mashed potatoes. And I think I'd taken tofu and did like a tofu scramble for eggs. And so he was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was missing a t-shirt and a pair of shoes. Now you've made me a steak. Where's my missing shoes? Just to keep it light, but I did. And so one day that'll be coming soon to the menu. Right now it is not on the menu, but guys, it'll be there soon.
So how did you transition from fixing him food that was vegan to deciding to share with the rest of us your skill?
Well, so I went to a women's conference in Atlanta because, again, initially creating food was not because I thought I was going to own a brand. It was to feed my family, to feed my husband, to keep him vegan, to transition our children. And I had friends asking me, was I going to write a cookbook? Was I going to open and I'm like, pish posh, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm in corporate America. I'm in banking. That's what I do. Okay. Now, I went to this women's conference, and on my way back from the women's conference in Atlanta, as I was leaving a restaurant then called Viva La Vegan, as I closed the door to their restaurant, I truly perceived that I heard, this is what you're to do. And wow. I did ignore it. Mm-hmm. I did ignore it. Because I had great benefits and enjoyed what I did at Bank of America and was compensated very well for that. So about an hour outside of Atlanta, I perceived it again. I ignored it again. And then the third time it was in my chest. So I called and said, I truly believe the Lord is saying to open a small vegan catering company.
Awesome.
That is not what he said. He
It's
said,
not?
This is what you're to do with that restaurant. I said, small catering company.
Oh, okay.
Because that's not what he said. This is what he said. So, yeah. And so that's how it came about. So everything that's on that menu is by virtue of my affection for my husband.
Oh,
and then
awesome.
the world is the beneficiary of that affection. Yeah.
So it's vegan meals with love.
Indeed.
So let's go over the menu.
Yes, so our proteins, which are our ribs, beets and ribs are jackfruit and mushrooms. Our burgers, beets and mushrooms. The roast, although it is also beets and mushroom, it is a completely different recipe. We have crab, we have calamari, we have chicken, we have sausage, potatoes and cabbage. You name it, KraVegan has it. Even if it's not on the menu, we can create it.
You can create it.
We can
Awesome.
create it.
So it's like eating at home, away from home.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's with love,
Exactly.
with the two of them.
Exactly.
So you have here the calamari,
Yes,
correct?
we use hearts of palm for that. And you got to try that. That's topped with our fish sauce, and which is just a combination of both our sauces. We also have a sauce line. And so go ahead and give that a shot.
Okay.
I've had people say, oh my gosh, I could just eat that all day. Please do eat it all day. And that's
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Now at brunch, we have brunch every first Saturday of the month from 11:30 to 2. And wontons, which is what this is, not on the menu, but is on the brunch menu.
Okay.
And so I know you come sometimes,
Yes.
and I don't believe you've had.
No, I haven't had.
So this is our
I can't get
crab.
past the roast.
So I get that, which is beets and mushrooms. So out of all of the creations, I get on my kicks on what's my favorite.
Okay.
And so for the last 2 weeks, roast has been my favorite.
Has it?
So
Okay.
I still eat a burger taco every day.
Okay.
But I recall when chicken was, I was just on chicken.
Just chicken.
Now I'm on roast and sausage.
Okay.
So for dinner at home yesterday being Sunday, I made a hamburger helper soup
Yes.
in the crock pot. And I pulsed down.
Extremely good.
Thank you very much. I pulsed down the roast and the sausage.
Really?
So basically made crumbles.
Crumbles, okay.
Made ground meat. There you go.
Okay.
And so you can create anything that that's why we sell our proteins separately so that you too at home can create your own meal plan, or you can just simply create whatever dish you want to cook for your family.
Awesome. Awesome.
We want to show our meal plan?
Oh yes, so we actually are going to introduce and launch very soon what we're calling Heat and Eat, which is our formal meal prep. And this happens to be a sample of it. And this is our roast. Don't know if you guys can see that. Our roast, mac and cheese and collard greens. And again, the roast is beets and mushrooms. And so mushrooms, beets purify our blood. Mushrooms are good for our immune system, our brain, you name it.
Protein.
Mushrooms are great.
Yeah.
It's great and all great source of protein. So with our proteins, although I have yet to give the actual nutritional facts, based on my calculations, all of our proteins are 18 grams of protein. All of our proteins contain 18 grams of protein plus.
Okay.
There you go. Yes. With all
And your meat versions.
Yes.
That is correct.
The meat versions.
That is
So
correct.
actually your protein is actually more because everything else are vegetables also.
Yes.
Exactly. And so what's inside the wonton is our mushrooms and hearts of palm and artichoke bottom is what that is. And so it's all crumbly and yes, you like that?
I really like that.
Yes. So, and you guys, it's going to sound crazy. Sometimes my seafood is so close to real seafood, I can't eat it. So
Really?
I know it's crazy.
It's
It gets really close, and it's like I promise there's no seafood in this, but with all the seasonings, it'll get really close, and it's like I promise it's not seafood. I promise it's vegetables.
Awesome. So you were mentioning to me earlier about the civil rights movement.
Yes, Dr. Richard Bland, which is one of our customers. Dr. Richard Bland, mom went vegan in 1926. He was born in 1930. Guys, that man is 94 years old, and right now he still could do 100 push-ups a day.
Wow.
Yes.
He's never eaten meat a day in his life. He preaches from Genesis 1:29, let thy trees be thy meat, let thy herbs be thy medicine. If you eat this way, I'm going to give you long life and no disease.
Yes, he also says if it's not from the vine, it's not mine.
Right.
So
Right.
he's only eaten one way his whole entire life. But the way he understands things, the way he preaches, this is a natural thing for us. Yes, in Leviticus, God said, okay, since you're wanting to do things your way, at least stay away from these things, because there are certain things out there that are harmful, detrimental to our bodies. They carry parasites, they carry things that doesn't really benefit us.
Right.
So he said, eat this, not that. And of course, we're hard-headed, so we eat what we want to.
Yes.
And the repercussions of that, we violate God's wisdom, we create chaos even in our own bodies.
Right. And sickness and morbidity, suffering,
Yes.
Obesity, rashes, everything.
Everything. I say often we're the only mammals that purposefully hurt ourselves.
Yes.
Meaning, you wouldn't let me just pinch you. Like,
Right.
I might get that first pinch off, but you're not going to let me pinch you a second time. You're not going to throw yourself in the middle of the street.
Right.
You're not going to slam your head in this table because you're not going to hurt yourself. But yet, as humans, we consume things that we know hurt us. When our bodies, I'm 50 years old, I've not consumed dairy since I was 30 because I'm lactose intolerant. It took me about a year to figure it out. And guys, I love cheese. Please understand, I love cheese. Guys, I loved cheese. But at 30, my body said, we've had enough. Therefore, I stopped consuming cheese. I don't have any health issues, but at my age, I should be suffering from some sort of reproductive woman something. There's nothing. I'm like 30. I'm like 25 on the inside. But I stopped eating what my body couldn't process. Even before going vegan, I could no longer consume the cow.
Okay.
So if I ate a steak, this is my voice now. I would sound like this the next morning because my body could no longer digest it, could no longer process it. So that steak had become poison to me. Now I would be foolish to continue consuming that and then seek God to heal me from it. Now that's insane. No, because my body. So all I ask, people will say, well, you got to eat according to your body. You know, this works for me, that doesn't work for me. Babe, if you have to pop a pill, it's not for you. If you have to take an enzyme, if you have to take anything to allow your body to process what you're consuming, drinking or eating, that's not for you. Your body's saying, please stop. And your future self will appreciate you if you did. I promise.
And now you hear it. See, they're saying the same thing I'm teaching you weekly.
Yes.
That diseases do not follow in families. Eating habits follow in families.
Yes.
If grandma ate the pork chops and the gravy and grandma died of diabetes, heart attack, yes, you will follow that and have the same issues because you're eating the same.
Yes.
But now that you know better from these platforms and the restaurants out here, you can do better. It all starts in the mind.
Yes.
You have to make the difference.
Yes.
The change. You have to be intentional about what you eat.
Yes.
And the flavor here is it's probably better than your food.
We had a guy come in and ordered the ribs, wasn't vegan, came with his wife. She's a regular, but he came, he was like, fine, I'm coming, I'm gonna try it. And I told him, I'm not scared of you because I'm not scared of you carnivores. I'm really not. And so I'm like, I'll put my food against anyone. And I told him, I said, here's the deal. If you don't like it, I'll comp it. That is how confident I am in my food. You don't have to pay for it. I told people, you can spit it out. You won't, but you can. He tried that rib. He said, this is the best rib I've had in my life. And that was not hyperbole. That man literally meant what he said.
Yes.
And I just think, guys, at some point, you have to realize that you deserve to feel great. You deserve to not be in pain. You deserve for your body to do whatever it is that you want that body to do. I don't care if it's get rid of PCOS because, baby, that's dairy. They're not going to tell you, but it is.
It is.
They're not going to tell you, but it is. You want your edges to grow back. You want to skydive. I want to go roller skate. I want to ice skate. Whatever. You deserve that, and it is for you. I just think you might have forgot what being pain-free feels like.
Most people have.
Yeah, you know, because you have that elbow pain, you compensate and you're just so used to it.
Right.
But think back to when you could just get up. You just get up.
Right.
Let's get back to that, the basics.
That's one of the first things when we went vegan, the fact that I didn't need a 3-point stand to stand up on my own. I was able to get up.
Just get up.
Yes.
You know, that was a big deal for me because I was 52. I was afraid of that next thing, and I realized, wait, there's a better way. And when we sat down, we did a little research on it. We went cold turkey that day.
Yes, we did.
Because one of her favorite sayings is, nothing tastes as good as we feel.
Exactly.
And truly, we
say that again.
Like, literally, nothing tastes as great as we feel. That Sunday morning, we woke up carnivores. I came home from church. I baked chicken, jasmine rice, string beans, packed our lunch, put the babies down for nap because I had our last baby. I was 40 when I had the last shot. 37 and 40. I left before. Laid them down for nap, packed our lunch. We sat down and watched What the Health on Netflix. I was sold at 30 minutes because I'm good. I don't need to be, I don't need to be cracked to know it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm good. So I was sold at 30 minutes. But we got through the 90 minutes, and I looked at Lou, who was sitting to my left, and I asked, what do you think? And he said, I would be a fool not to adhere to this wisdom. Because at 52 and 42, we had no health issues. But we also had small children. We wanted to maintain it that way. So I said, well, I'm going to unpack our lunch. I got up, and he said, I don't even want the roux from the chicken on my rice. So for lunch that day, we had rice and beans. For lunch. String beans for lunch. Our normal breakfast had been no lighter biscuits anyway. So we were good there, and we were a dairy-free household. So our coffee and cream, all of that was fine. It was just lunch. After work that day, I went to Publix to try to figure out what I'm going to do because they're vegan now. What am I going to do? And so, yeah, when you realize, y'all, just the way your body goes feel. Yes. Just the way you're going to feel.
But we joke about poisoning ourselves. We call it the itis. We eat ribs or some other beef or something, and we get lethargic. We start sweating. Those are symptoms of poison.
Right.
Ooh.
Your body's acting
Bloated.
the same way as if you were poisoning yourself.
Yes.
But yet we make jokes about it. Man, the itis got me. But the realization is, we don't. It's not a good thing if your body is shutting down organs for me just to process it. It's not a good thing.
Right.
You know.
But it's feeling. We have bought into what society has given us about what we should eat, about how you're supposed to eat breakfast, how you're supposed to eat till you're full, and all the excessive amounts of food. We were talking about earlier, when you eat vegan food, it goes through you. You process the majority of it.
Yes.
90%.
90%
of what you eat, plant-based, your body actually use. So we go through an absorption cycle. We have 3 cycles: intake, chew it, eat it, process it. And then once we do that, our body actually absorbs the nutrients. Oh, that's my need, magnesium. I need that for my brain. That's potassium. I need that for my heart. That's this. Your body absorbs it. And then we have what we call a detox period when our body starts expelling things.
Right.
The problem is with meat, your body only processes 30%. But what that means is 70% of what I just ate clogs up my digestive and my lymphatic system.
Yes.
But with plants, if I'm absorbing 90% of what I eat, I have very little clogging up my systems. So my immune system, your doctor, where's your immune system at?
in your stomach.
So if it's clogged up, my body can't defend itself the way it's supposed to. And those are just basic, simple things that we as people should realize and understand. One of the doctors, I just turned 50, and one of the doctors I went to my annual checkup, he said, because you're black, I'm light-skinned black, but I'm black, and because you're over 50, you should be on blood pressure medicine. Yes. And my wife stood up and said, it's not a normal thing.
That's common. Not normal.
It's common.
But it's not normal.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
It's common.
Is our bodies were designed to self-regulate itself.
Right.
Common is people not allowing their bodies
Yes.
to self-regulate itself.
Right.
That's the difference. So we have to, as a society, push back on that's normal. No, it's not. It's common. And who wants to be common?
Right. But normal is you should not be taking any medicines. Normal. The problem is our society and our medical society have all decided that we have diseases and we're supposed to be put on medication for the diseases. They are not investing money into cures. It's because it's all capitalism, which we've talked about before.
And we maintain diseases.
And we maintain diseases.
Medicine just allows you to maintain that particular
Exactly.
illness.
Yes.
Right.
I know when I was 21, my regular doctor's routine exam, I gave the family history, and my physician said, if you eat how your family eats, you will have what your
Those
family
diseases.
has.
Right.
And at that time, I've always been very cognizant of that. And my mom just taught me as a woman, because especially as a Black woman in America, we have to be our own advocates for our female bodies. Okay. And so my mom raised me to always be in tune with my body. So when something is going wrong with it, I don't need you to, I'm going to tell you what's wrong. You know, not help me. Something ain't right, whatever.
Right.
And so understanding that, even with having, getting married, having my first 2 children, 27, 29, last 2, 37, 39, I've never suffered any of that common stuff. Just because even when I was eating cheese, I still was cognizant. So which is why the moment I noticed something was amiss, amiss, and I was able to immediately make a change because it was obvious. I just ate ice cream, my stomach.
Right.
I just had pizza in my stomach. It wasn't rocket surgery.
Right. So she was being intentional about what she eats. And so that's what I want you all to understand. Number one, you always have to be intentional. Your body is meant to digest vegetables. The Bible tells us that. Eat from the garden. The Bible tells us all of that. We're not supposed to be eating strangled animals.
Yes.
Which most animals are killed and they're not happily killed.
No.
So they are producing cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which we're eating, and we're having mega problems from that.
Yes.
Also, we have to have an advocate, which I talk about on all my shows. Not just females, but males too.
Yes.
Anyone that is of the African American diaspora descent, we need advocates. Our health system does not pay attention to us. So we have to have advocates to help us maneuver the system and ask the right questions and inquire about what next, what's the next step.
Right.
And so with you being intentional and being an advocate, you too can decide what you want to eat. So with that being said, what's the next step for your restaurant and everything?
I wanted to point this out real quick. People will say all vegan food is highly processed. And we as a society, we as people have to be careful using words like all, always, never, because it's never all. It's not that. That is a great question to inquire, but to have it as an assumption, no, our food is not highly processed. Our proteins have 2 steps. It is steamed highly and smoked.
Okay.
And the items that are not put on the smoker are only steamed highly. The only preservatives we use is water and sea salt. That's it. In our sauces, citric acid, water, and sea salt. And with our sauces in glass bottles, it's a 2-year shelf life with only citric acid and sea salt. I'm gonna say that one more time. I have a 2-year bottle by co-packer shelf life of a sauce in a glass bottle that is good for 2 years with only citric acid and sea salt. So all that stuff that has all those chemicals, I can assure you it is not required. We're not money greedy, so I'm gonna feed you like I love you. That's why our food is not full of junk. It is clean eating. If you were coming in telling me you just had an organ transplant, you are on dialysis, you're fighting cancer, you're pregnant, you can enjoy my entire menu. Sodium. So for example, our ribs, a batch is what, 45, 50 pounds?
Yes.
That only has 4 tablespoons of sea salt. 4. The roast, which is a batch is 55 pounds, it is only 6 tablespoons of sea salt. That's it. So it's not highly processed, not high in sodium, which is why our good Dr. Shirley enjoys the rest.
Yeah, that's her favorite.
No. So KraVegan is here for you. Okay, that's it. Okay, what's next? You.
Yeah.
You're next. Guys, we have some exciting things coming up next. It hasn't been pinned down yet, so I'm not at liberty to speak about it right now. However, the Heat and Eat is next. Okay, the Heat and Eat is next.
But also the proteins. You could buy the protein by the pound.
Yes.
Simply, we want you to experience your choices, because my wife is an excellent cook. That roast is unbelievable.
Yes.
But let's take
My
that
favorite.
roast. Let's take that roast and put it in your hands, and let's see what you could do with it.
Literally, you cook how you cook. So I tell people, some vegan cookbooks do the absolute most. And once my meats, we will eventually scale the meats
so that you can purchase them and those sources like that.
And once that happens, then I'll write the cookbook. Because guys, cook how you cook. I'll use beef stroganoff for an example, since Dr. Shirley loves the roast. So you want to do a beef stroganoff. So you're going to come get our roast. You can buy a half pan or a pan of that. Instead of egg noodle, you're going to get a wheat noodle. Instead of heavy whipping cream, you're going to use coconut milk. And then you season it how you season. There's liquid smoke. There's Worcestershire sauce. Just make sure you flip the bottle to make sure there's no anchovies in the ingredients. And now you just made your own vegan version of beef stroganoff. You cook how you cook.
Which is good. The way she cooks it, absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome. So, in conclusion, you have options for vegan
Yes.
food. So don't tell me you can't find any vegan food, or if you are lazy and don't want to cook your own vegan food, KraVegan is here, and they are now having meal prep. Well, meal delivery,
Well, yes.
because it's all.
It's on the website, yes.
It's on the website.
It will be on the website. It's not there yet. It will be under Easy Catering on the website. So you go to the website, KraVegan.com, you hit order, scroll down, and then you'll see Easy Cater. And from there, that is where you can now order. You can order a half pan of 3 of our meats, ribs, roast, and sausage, or however you want, for $70. That's a $120 value that we have right now for $70 that you can order, and then you can freeze it and pull it out and thaw it as needed.
So a half pan, how many meals and how many people will it feed?
So, well, the half pan, the one family who came and got the ribs, roast, and sausage, they enjoyed that $70 meal for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because they pulled what they needed and then created meals out of that.
Yeah.
So even if you make a hamburger helper, just as something quick, pulse down that roast and sausage, the kid's not going to know, I can assure you that. And then you get you elbow pasta, a wheat pasta, not an egg-based pasta. You do everything else yourself. And it's all the same. You're just changing out the
Changing
the
out,
protein.
right. So the thing is, so you asked me, eating vegan is more expensive. Actually not. We just talked about the meat for 2 weeks, $70. And then you add all your vegetables with it.
Yes.
And as I tell you, substitutions. Keep your same recipes.
Yes.
And you just substitute with vegetable products. And go to my website. I have all the substitutions for you, down to mayonnaise, to anything you use. I have a substitution for you.
We make
that's
mayo.
vegan.
We make our mayo.
You make your mayo.
I make everything we make. So
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Even if you realize, hey, you don't like the just mayo or any of the mayos that are on the market, you can come get my garlic aioli and or our mayo, and we can make that garlic for you if you like as well. So yeah, so you want it, we got it.
Okay, so before we close, is there anything you want to tell our audience?
I want to personally thank you, because creating these platforms for our people to see, or people in general to see, there is a better way.
It's better.
You know, and we say it all the time, nothing tastes as good as we feel. But guys, you got to eat better to feel better.
Amen.
Amen.
And just so you guys know, what
Also is next week, we are working
diligently to become approved to accept SNAP benefits.
Okay.
So everyone can't eat out, but to get the heat and eat, which is frozen,
it is cold.
then SNAP benefits. So because we are a restaurant and not a convenience store, like that, we got a few challenges there, but that is something that we're working on now, because
Yes.
I would love, just because you're on SNAP benefits, you need the best food.
You need the best
You
food.
need the best food,
Right.
you know? So
Okay, well, thank you for tuning in to The Healthy You with Dr. J. Have a great day, and remember, your health is definitely greater than your wealth.
Yes.